Now you see, I would have this lamp here, but the yellow shade is making it look extremely yellow, so I'm not going to have it, so you're going to have to deal with that look for now. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to this video. What this video is, as you can see by the title, this is part 2 of me going and cleaning the HP Stream 11 once again. And I forgot one thing that I sort of bought specially for this video. This is what I bought. I bought some isopropyl alcohol, 99.9%. Why did I buy it? So that I could properly clean this notebook and properly clean the PCBs and the casing and all sorts in order to hopefully completely erase the smell altogether. Now I will just say, regarding this bandaged hand, you may have seen me tapping it and stuff like that. It is not a broken hand, I can still move it, as you can see. I just cut it along here on a piece of glass, so I went and got that stitched up, but the tendons and stuff, they're all fine, so I can use this hand as though it's this one. And as I had the bandage put on a few days ago, you can probably tell by the state of the bandage, I'll probably have a new bandage put on in the next day or so. But yeah, I can use this hand near enough completely, so yeah, there's no need to worry about that. But despite saying that, I will try not to use this hand. Anyway, get the isopropyl alcohol out of here. Now let's go ahead and start dismantling this notebook once again. Now what I will do is probably just jump cut the video straight to me taking it off. Okay, so I've made it this far. I have now taken the keyboard off. Still need to undo these ribbon cables, however. Do that one, pull this one down, then I can get access to that one. There we go, there's the keyboard assembly taken off. So just put that aside, and now I'll continue stripping all of these components down and the monitor. I'll take the hinges off and stuff. Basically what I did in part 1, except this time I'll clean it with isopropyl alcohol instead of putting it outside, pointing a fan at it, and then putting it in a box filled with newspaper. So yeah, I'm going to jump cut to when I've got everything out, because jump cuts are the new format, because like I said previously, part 1 was long enough. So I have finished tearing it down. Up here at the top left, I've got the tray with all the screws on. If you watch part 1, you know about that. And here are the main components of the notebook. Now the battery, I'm not going to clean the battery for obvious reasons. It's a battery, so you don't really want it going near liquid, and also it's lithium ion, so the slightest bit of damage and it's probably going to just blow up. I've got the copper heatsink or heat spreader. Well, it's a heatsink as well, whatever. I'm probably just going to wash that with water, to be honest with you. Got this little charging bit, which I'm not going to clean because it's just tiny. The speakers, I'm not going to clean them because they're speakers and they are easily damaged when coming into contact with liquids. The little Wi-Fi chip, I don't think I'll clean it, but I'm not sure with that one. Then I intend on cleaning this one, and I want to clean this one. However, there's this plastic cover bit on it, as you can see there, which is to stop it from shorting out. So I need to somehow clean it without removing that, or if I do remove it, I need to somehow try and put it on. And then here I have the monitor, which I'll just give a wipe down with a cloth soaked in this. Then there's the keyboard bit, which I would wash, but due to all the electronics on the back, I'm just going to dampen a cloth with isopropyl alcohol and then give it a rub over. And then there's this base bit here, which consists of just plastic and like these metal shieldings with a bit of plastic on there and this one ribbon cable. To be honest, I'm thinking of just like washing this with water, to be honest. Now you might be saying, what about all of the water will get in here and then it'll stay and it'll go all rusty. I will be drying it immediately after washing. And you might be saying, what about the ribbon cable? The only bits of the ribbon cable that are exposed are the end connector bits. The rest of it is covered in plastic, so that's going to go near enough unaffected. Now you still might be saying that that is a bad idea. In the past I have even washed PCBs with water. Well, to be honest, soap and water, and well, they still work fine. Not these PCBs, but my old graphics card that does still work, by the way. Works perfectly fine. I cleaned that with soap and water. Still works fine. Of course, I removed the heatsink first. So now I'm just going to probably wait till tomorrow until I can actually get around to washing these bits properly. And as for this bit, I think I'll just go and wash it now. Anyway, I'll see you then. You'll have to bear with the mess for a minute while I explain what I'm going to do. So what I intend on doing is, I've got this cap, and in this cap I'm going to put some isopropyl alcohol. Then I'm going to take this paintbrush, which is a clean one. I'm going to dip it in the isopropyl alcohol and go over the PCB with it. And then I'll go over the keyboard as well once I've done the PCB. And then what I'll probably do with the isopropyl alcohol that remains in here, providing it hasn't already evaporated by this point, is probably dip a microfiber cloth in it and then give the screen bit a wipe down. Now I have already cleaned the base. I did that yesterday because there's nothing that special on here. It's literally just plastic with a bit of metal and a ribbon cable. So I cleaned that. Then over here I have this PCB, which I have also cleaned. I did that yesterday. Got this copper shielding, the heatsink, which I just cleaned with some soap and water. Got this Wi-Fi card, which I did yesterday. And then I have the speakers, which I gave a wipe down yesterday as well. So the main bits that I intend on cleaning today are primarily the PCB and the keyboard. And yes, I do have my thermal paste to put back on it. So yeah, primarily the PCB and the keyboard. And then I'll just give the screen a wipe down afterwards. So this has a child-proof lid on it because it's 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. You don't want to be drinking it, but also I've got a dodgy hand at the moment, so I might not be able to get it off myself. There we go, I think that did it. Yeah, that did it. Right, so let's pour a... Oh, that's quite a lot. Right, let me put the top back on that before it evaporates. Okay, let's just go straight in and do this. I am aware there's a plastic bit on here. Don't know how this will react to that, but just go ahead and just give it a good little clean. Now I'll just go over the plastic bit roughly. I will also say that this again isn't a tutorial. This is just me cleaning the way I think it should be cleaned, which is probably not how it should be cleaned at all. Let's put that over to one side, let that evaporate. Now let's do the keyboard. I was planning on wiping the keyboard down with a cloth. Right, so now I'll just put that to one side and let that evaporate as well. So I will be back once it has evaporated. Okay, welcome back. It has been about half an hour for this to evaporate. It's evaporated off the keyboard and off this side of the PCB. So now I'm going to clean this side. I will just say, before I put the notebook back together, while I haven't left it half an hour, I'll probably leave it out for a few hours to ensure it has fully evaporated. So here is the isopropyl alcohol. I put this over it just to stop it from evaporating. I put the wood over it to stop it from evaporating when I wasn't using it. But anyway, let's just go ahead and just go over the PCB again. Okay, there's that side thoroughly coated. So now, like I did before, so now I'm just going to leave this here, let that evaporate, and then when I come back I would have finished with this PCB, and then I'll go and get a cloth and give the monitor part of the notebook a wipe down, and I'm going to give the keyboard bit a wipe down as well. Welcome back. So now I'm going to fold the square into quarters like that, remove the wood from the isopropyl alcohol. So I'm just going to dip it in the isopropyl alcohol and just give the entire keyboard assembly bit a wipe down, and it's near enough evaporated already. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to let that evaporate, and then I'll probably give it just a final wipe down with just a clean, dry microfiber cloth. Now moving on to the screen. So same again, just dip it in the isopropyl alcohol, which has all evaporated. And then just, I think the screen didn't smell that bad anyway, to be honest, but I thought I'd just give it a wipe down. We better be recording, yes we are. That will do for the front side bit of the display. Now I'm going to use whatever isopropyl alcohol is left to just give the back a once over. Right, there's the display. Right, so yeah, as you can see, the cap is, you see there's still a tiny bit of residue over there, but the cap is essentially, it's all evaporated. So now I'm just going to let all of this evaporate, and then I'll begin the assembly process once again. Right, I'm going to start off by putting the monitor bit back on. I'll probably just jump cut this bit to the most important assembly bits. I'll jump cut you to when I've got everything back in and I'm ready to put new thermal compound on. Welcome back. It has finally got to the time when I need to reapply thermal paste. So let me just clean the fingerprint off the CPU. So I'm going to put a central blob on the CPU. Like that. That's near perfect if you ask me. So now I need to put on the heatsink, which lines up because that little cover bit goes over that screw. So what I need to do is line it in place and drop. And now I need to get these two tiny little silver coloured screws. That one in a little bit. That one, there we go, there's that one all the way in. And then there's that one, all the way in. There we go, the heatsink is now reapplied. So now what's left to do is to put the battery back in and the speakers. Right, I'm just going to put all the screws in the battery, and then I shall jump cut you to when I am ready to attach the keyboard again. So I am now ready to put the keyboard back on. Power button plugged in. Now before I click it back together, I'm going to turn it on to make sure it still works. So now it's time to make sure that the USBs still work. So does this USB work? Yep, that USB works. Does the headphones jack work? I don't know, I've never actually tried the headphones jack, to be honest. So just move the keyboard over the other side. Let's check the micro SD card slot, does that work? Are we detected? Oh yeah, the mouse isn't plugged in, is it? Well, I can actually leave the mouse plugged in, so it'll make it easier for me because I cannot stand trackpads. Has it been detected? Yes, I know about that. Eject MSD32, so that will be the micro SD card of 32 gigabytes. So yep, that works. So now there's the two USBs that flew out. So now there's the two USBs over this side, so I'll just use this as a restore stick as a test. Yeah, that one's detected. Unplug it, it goes away. There's only one USB on that side, the other one's a HDMI. Could have swore it had two USBs on one side, but no it didn't. Right, so now all that's left to check is the HDMI. So I guess I'll go and pull the HDMI out of my desktop. I won't show you like me connecting the laptop because you'll see it come up on that screen if it works, and if nothing comes up then, well, I have a problem. The light's gone green, that means we've detected a signal. I just need to wait for this monitor to wake up because it's got the longest like standby to usage wake up time ever. And as you can see on here, that yes, the HDMI still works. So that's very good. Right, that's all I wanted to know. So let's shut the notebook down. I'm not going to clip the keyboard back on until I am certain that everything works. And as of right now, well no, I've tested everything. USBs, I haven't tested the audio jack. Where's my headphones? Just these cheap things will do. Haven't checked the internal speakers either. So I'll be back once I've got like a video playing or something. The internet is being ridiculously slow, but as you can see there, I have plugged in the antenna. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this is now loaded, so let's go to my channel. I do currently have the headphones plugged in, so you won't be able to hear it, but as you can see there, it is muted. So if I just, yep, they work. but what doesn't work is HD in this computer, because as you can see there, it moves at about 2 FPS. So let's put it in 360 instead of 1080. Well, it can't even do. Technically, it can do 720 if you literally don't touch a laptop. Soon as you move the mouse, boom, it lags. Anyway, yeah, the headphone jack works. We can take that out. Do the internal speakers work? And also to apply new thermal compound. Yep, the internal speakers also work, the volume works. Does this function work with playing pause on this? No, so that'll be media, won't it? I don't have any media on this laptop. I could get some media on this laptop. Okay, I have transferred one of my videos. Okay, I've transferred one of my videos. So now let's play it and make sure the media keys work. It's just a short update video I did when I was ill. When we decide we're going to open anytime today will be good. So after about 15 minutes, I have confirmed that everything works. Keyboard works, trackpad, power button, the ports, HDMI, power port, charging port, they all work. So now I'm going to clip this back to its base. There we go, there's all that sorted. So now I just need to put all the screws back in the bottom of it. Okay, welcome back. It has been about an hour since I glued the feet on. I know I said 15 minutes to half an hour, but I started editing a video, and when you're editing a video, time just flies by. Anyway, here is the notebook. The feet are glued back on, as you can see. I have no idea why the screen just went off. Okay. Yeah, I've just remembered I set it so the screen turns off when it's running off its battery for every minute. It's like not active. But anyway, here is the notebook. Fully cleaned, fully all nice working. Now, originally this series was to get rid of the smell from the notebook. So how does it smell? On the plastic casing, like the base of it, the palm rests, the monitor and like the back of the monitor, the smell is literally, you can't smell anything. It's as though it was never owned by a smoker to begin with. No sign of smoke, cigarettes, whatever. The keyboard has a different smell to it. It's not like the cigarette smoke like it was. It's now more of an alcohol smell, to be honest, which makes sense because I did wash it with well, not wash it, but like brushed it down with isopropyl alcohol, and I guess some of the residue is just left over. If I'm honest, smells like those baby wipes I wiped it down with earlier. So yeah, whatever they are fragranced with, it has left the scent on the keys. But as for traces of smoke and cigarette smoke, it's just none. Just cannot tell that this once belonged to a smoker. And also the box. Also the box that it came in here, that has spent about a month in the shed, so effectively outside, and the smell has completely gone from the box. So now I would be happy to use this laptop because there's no sign of smoke or anything, and I'd be perfectly, come on, wake up, and I'd be perfectly happy selling this laptop on to someone who doesn't smoke because the smell is no longer there. Therefore, well, there's no smoker smell around the laptop or its box. But anyway, that is it for part 2 and the final cleaning video of this notebook. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have met the goal of removing the smoker's smell from the notebook. I know I keep going back on notebook and laptop, but whatever. Anyway, that is it for this video, and in fact, technically this video series. So if you liked it, then like it. If you didn't, then dislike it. Comment or give me feedback or whatever below. Share the video, and if you want more videos like this in the future, then feel free to subscribe. But that is it for this video, so thank you for watching, and I shall speak to you in the next video.